The family of Nikhil Gupta, the man accused of conspiring with a government official to assassinate Sikh separatist Gurpatwant Singh Pannun, approached the Supreme Court seeking intervention and immediate legal assistance. The family alleges threats to Nikhil's life and claim that he is being illegally held in solitary confinement. The Supreme Court has now refused to intervene and has asked a copy of the petition to be sent to the centre. The next hearing will be on the 4th of January. I'm being joined by my colleagues Arvind and Vishnu as well to take us through the latest details on what's coming. Before that, let's listen into what Nikhil Gupta's lawyer had to say.
We have filed a petition by a near friend of an Indian citizen who has been illegally detained in the Republic of Czech and is now facing extradition proceedings to the US. We have filed the petition seeking certain assistance from the ministry that would be available to any Indian citizen who has been illegally detained abroad. So the Supreme Court has directed the matter to be listed on the 4th and a copy to be served on the government, and the Supreme Court will hear the matter on the 4th now. There is an allegation of conspiracy and an attempt to murder a gentleman, a US citizen, and it is our case that he has been illegally roped into the entire issue and faces extradition charges to the US today.
Right, I'm being joined by my colleague Arvind for more details on this. Arvind, take us through exactly what the court has said in this matter. The family had in fact approached the court saying that he's being illegally held and they wanted immediate intervention as well.
Yeah, Nikhil Gupta has approached Supreme Court through his family members via a habeas corpus petition. Today, the matter was taken up for hearing before a bench of Justice Sanjeev Khanna and Justice S.V.N. Bhatti. Senior advocate Arima Sundaram, appearing for Nikhil Gupta, told the Supreme Court that he has been illegally detained or illegally lodged in a prison in Prague in Czech Republic, and that's where they moved this habeas corpus plea. So when the matter was taken up for hearing, Supreme Court at the outset told that they received the papers only in the morning, and that's where they said that they have not gone through the papers. Keeping that aside, Supreme Court asked who has filed this petition, because the affidavit is not signed by Nikhil Gupta, for which senior advocate Arima Sundaram, appearing for Nikhil Gupta, told the Supreme Court that the family members of Nikhil Gupta has filed this petition. And also, Supreme Court also made some observations that if at all if you feel that he is not being treated legally or he is not being treated as per the convention, he should be moving the consent code. But nevertheless, senior advocate Arima Sundaram also brought to the notice of the Supreme Court about the affidavit that have been filed by his client, and that's why Supreme Court said that because they have not gone through the petition, they would be listing the matter for hearing on January 4th. So on January 4th, Supreme Court will be hearing Nikhil Gupta's petition. One, he has moved a habeas corpus plea. That means he is asking a direction to be given to the central government to produce Nikhil Gupta from Czech Republic to before the Supreme Court. And also the second prayer is very important. That's why he is saying that the Supreme Court should direct the central government to intervene in the extradition proceedings that have been initiated by US government in Czech Republic. Also, third argument that was put forth by Arima Sundaram was that keeping the sensitive nature of this case in mind, this particular case should be heard not in an open court but as an in-chamber proceedings, for which Supreme Court said the decision to move it to an in-chamber proceedings will be taken during the next date of hearing, that's on January 4th.
Right, thank you, Arvind, for joining us and bringing us those latest details. Now, Vishnu, if you could take us through the details of the case and exactly what has happened, the background of Nikhil Gupta as well.
Well, I think what is absolutely fascinating are some of the details which have emerged in this habeas corpus petition filed in the Supreme Court, which we were just speaking about. Firstly, the allegations made by Nikhil Gupta are strong. He says that he'd emerged out of the airport at Prague when he was bundled into a black-coloured SUV by 2 or 3 people. There were other people in that car, and that SUV then, for a period of several hours, moved around the city of Prague while he was being questioned. After repeatedly asking the people who had held him who they were, they said that they were American agents. He was subsequently put in detention. He says that for a period of 20 days, he was not allowed any consular access. He says that consular access happened after a period of 20 days. Prior to that, he was not allowed for a long period of time to make phone calls to his family. And it was only once his family was aware of this entire situation that the government of India, through the embassy in Prague, was actually kept posted on what happened. And it was only then that they were able to give him consular access. access. There are other details as well. He says, for example, that there were blood tests which had been conducted on him, and that on the basis of these blood test results, he was told that he had certain communicable diseases on the basis of which he was kept in solitary confinement. Yet, he says that he's not been given the blood test reports. He says he's been forced to eat beef and pork while being a vegetarian, and that he'd communicated this, and that he was told that, you know, this is what you're going to get to eat, and that is against his religious beliefs. One of the points that keeps coming up over and over again in this petition is that he was not allowed for a large period of time to actually contact his family, contact lawyers, anybody who was concerned. He was actually told by Czech authorities in the jail where he's currently being held that the international calling facility did not exist. Subsequently, of course, he was able, as I understand it, to be able to get into his family. Get in touch with his family. One final point over here is that he says that he was told that there is an Interpol red corner alert for him. He says he disputes this because at Delhi airport where he left, there was no effort at stopping him. In Turkey where he went, there was no effort at stopping him. He actually cleared immigration at Prague airport, and it was only after that there were these people who put him into this SUV and questioned him. He says that he doesn't buy the argument that there was an Interpol red corner alert for him. He says that he's been caught in the middle of politics, as it were, between India and the United States.